Waigani is over 900 kilometers away from the shores of the North Solomons province. Politicians who were making decisions and bureaucrats who were advising them were well clear of any danger and spillover effects of the conflict. It stayed that way until March of 1997 and Sandline. At the time, even the parameters of our national parliament were vacated out of fear.
I want the Prime Minister and the two ministers who are implicated to resign from their ministerial office. I am expressing my constitutional right that I believe that to deploy into Bougainville within weeks using massive military might to do whatever is constitutionally, ethically and professionally wrong.
I pose the question, was Mr. Singarok in this by himself? And if not, who are his accomplices?
I have kept quiet about the whole affair, basically because I am under an oath of secrecy.
The government called it the monster, Sandline International, the root cause of unrest, looting. It put the people of Papua New Guinea on the edge. The country's international image scarred, tested our democratic system to the extreme. For the first time, soldiers moved out of the barracks to main gates to Parliament House, where members met for the last time this Parliament, forced legislators to sleep at the House, and something else that Papua New Guinea is about to know for the first time tonight since the crisis.
On Wednesday, I got a call, my office got a call to say that a number of our members had been detained by the military. And that was the first time I knew that that some of our members had escaped, only to find that they couldn't, get away as they thought they would, because they escaped straight into the hands of the military and were detained overnight.
We also learn of how the Speaker of the House and a handful of unique, concerned and thinking Papua New Guineans who work behind the scenes late hours to ensure that the parties in the conflict in fact upheld the spirit of the Constitution and the democratic process. That was the case at the end, but only just.
At Guava village in Panguna, Francis Ona said Sandline and Singirok were part of divine intervention. Singirok, he said, resembled the Bible story of Apostle Paul.
The time me play looking at Singirok and me come na me like attacking back Papua New Guinea government. Me play vinting os now God and me kong use in this plan man. Osem Santo Paul before and me kong kill more Christian Bien now Jesus me tanin disatintim blongen. Na me koken alpim Jesus long walk blongen walk mission Now, I think walk long Singirok too even come up one kind. First time me kong kill me pla. Na biya now me tanim around.
Francis Ona is the figurehead of the Bougainville struggle, a position he retains to this day. When their spiritual leader, Catholic Bishop Gregory Sinkai, passed away, he formed what he called a mercy mission society, something like a religious society. It was not recognized by the Catholic religion, And it was even suggested that Ona had established a religious cult in the mountains.
You got plenty thousands even who can come through long me, long alpimo, long spiritual needs. Na too long alpimo long sick, all money long katebi, all Mary ira karim pikinini or katebi, na ikat all problems inside the family. More is something me plow long inside the society, me plow long alpimo people straight. Na too long all marriage break up, me plow bring him all come one time. So one time sa set up me look and suppose plenty people work one time inside the society and buy one album one plan and apply because machine them try plus something, yeah.
Restoration and reconstruction is the catchword of the people of the North Solomons. The government led the way by opening up safe zones around the province and set up care centers for people to seek help and redress for their sufferings. At the peak, as many as 60,000 people, a third of the population, lived in care centers. Many different groups, non-government organizations, the churches, even foreign governments had joined in the humanitarian drive to offer relief to the women and children and the elderly. It is estimated that over 12,000 people were killed in the crisis, but many more perished from sickness and the lack of food and medicine. Although the leaders were in conflict with the government, the people worked hard at piecing their lives together again. Interim authorities were established, and law and order, health, and other social functions were also set in. By 1994, 85 community schools and 6 high schools had been reopened. Buka town experienced the biggest growth. New businesses started, reopening of the banks, and people were encouraged to produce cocoa and copra with the opening of market facilities in Buka and Kieta. The annual Buka show was the most outward evidence of the people's desire to start a new Bougainville with what they have. In the meantime, talks continue to find a lasting settlement for political status for the province. The governor of North Solomons, John Momis, is back on Bougainville after the most recent peace talks held in Rabaul. Finding a path to peace has been his only agenda over the last 12 years.
This concept of independence is a transitional, thing. Independence is only good for us as a stepping stone for interdependence. That is why you need reconciliation. We are interdependent. We must work together. But you can't be interdependent unless you are independent. Dependent people can't be interdependent. And that is why the fight in Bougainville is not for independence. It's really fight against alienation, against disempowerment. It's fighting for autonomy.
Among the people themselves, reconciliation is the most important phase of the peace process. It will be a continuing process to get the people to get together in the Melanesian way and renew friendship and common goals.
Bougainvilleans really need to be reconciled with one another, with Papua New Guineans, in order to liberate themselves from attitudes of greed, attitudes of hatred, attitudes of arrogance, and so on and so forth. We need to liberate ourselves.
It was a tremendous hurt in their hearts over lost loved ones, the traumatic experiences that families underwent and were left to face, the killing of innocent men, women, and children, and the fact that people are no longer listening to their cries for help and for peace that got this group of women to come together and create an awareness march at last year's Buka show.
Women of Bougainville, their point had been well taken. They proved to the whole country that as equals, women have an important role to play in development, in good and bad times. As a nation, we could not resolve Bougainville by human might, but by the power of Almighty God.
Das all Jeremiah, walk belong him. Long talk him all lead all time. You pla find him out. One him like belong God. Now you pla he behind him this pla like belong God. Strong pla talk belong Jeremiah. He go long all leader belong time belong him. Now this pla talk he can go along you me too.